Hello there, this is Patricia from Pinky's World, and today I'm making some wee Valentine gifts to start off the wee gifts for the grandkids. For this one we're using Country Bouquet stamp set and Country Bouquet punch with the lovely hearts and flowers on it. And I've used a retired, I can't remember, Blushing Bride or something you call that pink. I was using them for my mock-ups just to see if I got my sizes right, and then I've moved on to the white, basic white, and the papers are retired as well. They're, I can't remember the name of them. I think they were out last year. Still have a few of them. Country Floral Lane, 12 by 12, but look, go for anything with a wee heart or whatever if you're making them for Valentine's Day. Inside they have those wee pink chocolate hearts. There's 3 of them in there. And it's just a wee tiny handle. It's really basic. I'm sure you've done them before yourself, but I just made them to suit those particular wee hearts. You buy them B&M or any of those shops now, Home Bargains. Home Bargains, I got these ones in. They have them in the red and the pink. And they have the wee ladybirds as well, which I got for another project. So do ladybirds at least once a year. So we're going to make another white one. And we're just using the heart stamp, the one with the stripes, and For You. And that's about it. So the directions you need, measurements of the card. For your base of your box to put your wee hearts in, it needs to be 2 1/4 by 4 1/2. The part to wrap around your box is 4 1/16. I know you hate that, but just measure 4 inches and just slide it out a fraction just to give you that wee bit of leeway. And for the length you need 3 1/2 inches plus 1/16. Again, you just want that wee bit extra so that it's covering, you've got that wee leeway, that your box isn't hanging out and looking unruly, So that's what you need. And then you need this wee tiny piece here. It's 1 3/4 inches by 1/4 inch for your wee handle, and then a piece of whatever DSP you're going to use, and it needs to be 4 1/2 inches by 3 inches, or round about between 4 and 4 1/2, depending on the amount of overlap you want. So if you have a wee bit and you're just over 4 inches, you might get away with it, maybe 4 1/4 at the least. So we'll do our wee box bottom first. So for this one, you just want to score it at 1/2 inch all the way around. So I'm looking at this side just so that I can see it easier. So I'm just going into 1 3/4 inches. We're just spinning it around. And we're doing this in at 4 inches, 1 3/4 inches, and 4 inches. Now we'll do this one as well. Now this one's a wee bit, I've just made a few changes just to make it fit me better. So you want to put it in with the 4 inch and 1/16 facing this way. And we're just going to slide it out a fraction at the edge here to give us a wee bit of leeway. And we're going to score it at 1/2 inch. And then from there, we want to push it back in. So it's butted up against the left. And we're going to go to 1 3/4 inches. And then we want, this is going to drive you insane, but it's the way I found it worked best. So I lined that up at 2 1/4. And let's see, 2 1/4 is here, right? And we want to go a wee bit further. No, wait a minute now, highlighting. We're coming out again, right? After we've done that, that's give us that wee bit of leeway there. Slide it back out to get this, right? And then the next one should be 2 1/4, but we want to give it a wee bit of leeway. So we're marking it at, there's 2 1/4. We're going to this wee ridge in between the 2 lines. And I'm just marking it there. I'm not scoring it, just giving it a wee mark. And then I'm going to slide that to a place where that mark lines up. It doesn't matter where it is on your board, so long as it lines up with a straight line, and that gives you that nice 1/2 inch with a wee bit of depth. And then you want to do the same again. You want to go line it up anywhere at a good mark. We want that to be 1 3/4 inches, so it's 1, and then your 1 1/4 inches, sorry, not 1 3/4. That's 1 inch, and that would be our 1 1/4, and you just want to go to the next. I wonder, can you see it? I'm going to zoom in just to make sure you can see it. Right. So you can see if I go to there, and there is 1 1/4, but I don't want to mark it here because it's going to be a tight 1 1/4, and we want it to be able to wrap around this. So move to that wee nodule there that's in between the two markings, and just hit it a wee mark, and then line that wee mark up with one of the free channels and bring it down. Now you are left with slightly less. You can add more card to it if you want. This works for me. So we're going to do our fold. I'm going to double check this one because it looks slightly too big to me. It should be 1/2 inch. Yeah, it is a bit big. Back to the drawing board. I'm going to take that line out, and I'm going to take this one out. Now listen to me carefully while I make all these mistakes. Okay, we're starting from scratch, okay? Your 4 inch and 1/16 is lined up here. Slide it out slightly, and that's where we got this line. So we've scored that, and now we need 1 1/4 inches. So from there to there to there is 1 1/4. So we got that right. We have slid that back in, so we're getting that wee added piece to this section, and we just scored. Okay, so now we need 1/2 inch. So that's 3/4 to there is 1/2 inch. So we want to mark this notch in between the two, this one here, and we want to slide that to a channel that is free the whole way down, up, and scores, which gives us a fraction over 1/2 inch. Okay, so now we need to start in this line, and from that line we want to go, I'm going to bring it to 3 inches there. It doesn't matter about the numbers that you're using. Work it out. 3 to 4 to 1 1/4. That's 1 1/4 inches to there. But we want to bring it to the next wee raised nodule, and where are we, 1 1/4, and mark it there. Slide that to the channel where you can get the embossing tool in, and that gives you that. Now, that's right. So that looks a wee bit better. It just looked too big to me there. It slid it out too much. So I'll go over that once more for you in case you're stuck. Slide it fractionally out and score at 1/2 inch. Straight down. So, sorry, disturbed again. So slide that fractionally out, okay, and score at 1/2 inch. And now we need to slide that fractionally back in, just butt it up against the side here. And we need to measure 1 1/4, which is there, but you're marking it on this channel, and then you're lining it up anywhere at all and getting your score. And then again, you need the next one to be 1/2 inch, but we want to go to the marking right beside 1/2 inch. Mark your paper and then put it to a channel where you can glide your thing right through. And then again, you want to go slide it up to 3 inches, and you need 1 1/4 there, and we want to go to the next, this is 1 1/4 here. We want to go to the bumpy bit sticking there, mark it, and then slide it to a channel and score it. And that should be you, hopefully. So we'll just do our score lines when we're here. Before you stick anything down, just go in and check all your measurements that the box wraps okay, so you're happy with it. You don't want the children to be yanking it out and trying to get everything the way it should. We'll do our score lines on this too. This is your wee box base. I'm doing a lot of baby minding at the minute. Well, they're not babies, they're primary school children. I'm going to zoom out again. And much as I enjoy it, it is exhausting. And when you go to use your brain later to make your boxes and whatever, oh, it's hard work. So forgive me if I make the odd mistake at the minute. So I'm cutting into these 1, 2, 3, 4, and on each one we're going to chop a wee bit off the outer edges just to allow us to be nice and neat when we're putting this together. So now we're ready just to put a bit of glue on and make our wee tray up. And again, I've done the measurements to suit the size of my chocolate, so you can adjust the whole thing if you want to go bigger or smaller or whatever, or just buy those chocolates and pop them in. So a wee dab of glue on each of those, and we're just going to make our box. So just make sure that the corners aren't overshooting or anything, because you need this to fit those chocolates perfectly. Just squeeze them in. Excuse me. So just give them a wee press. And we're going to add our handle now too, just while we have this box out. What you want to do with your handle is take that wee piece, it's 1 3/4 inches by 1/4 of an inch, and we're just going to score it about 1/4 of an inch on each side. And then take your bone folder or whatever and just round that as best you can. And then just turn those 2 wee handles out the ways. And we're going to add a bit of glue to them. So turn it so you're scooping down the ways. Add a wee nodge of glue. Make sure you glue it well because it's going to be yanked by these ones. So you need it to be good. So line one side up in the centre, but along the edge. And just let it tick, and then hopefully it'll stay put till we get this other one on. Just don't have it coming over the edge. You want your box to slide smoothly, but you don't want it looking bad, so line it up right along so it's nice and neat. Make sure the other one stays put while you're doing that. And that should be you. And we're going to add some sweets. It holds 3, as I said, and the sort of tilt. There's an eyelash fell into that one. Okay, so that takes 3 nice wee sweets. If you're really generous and you want to give them money or anything, now's the time to slip it in. So set this onto your piece that we made earlier, and you can see there's room to keep both ends in nicely. This will fold over the top like so, and if you make it up with your box inside, you're guaranteed that it'll slip in and out nice and neat. If I had done the exact measurements, just score, it would have been so tight. Now you are left with a wee miss of paper, and you could add that extra onto it, but it really doesn't make any odds to me. And I just thought, right, I have this piece of paper, it's going to fit, and that's what I'm doing. So that's entirely up to you. If you want to add an extra bit to it, that would be another 1/2 inch there. So we're left with, so it's only a 1/16, another 1/16 of an inch. So add that if you want. That would be 4 2/16. So keep your box inside. I'm doing an awful lot of nattering today, sorry. I'm actually very tired. I need to go and lay down in a dark room for at least an hour. So I'm adding to this flap here some glue. Hold that down and just fold it over, and make sure that your pieces are lining up before you seal it. You can slide your box out and give this a wee press, and that'll make sure that's taken right. So now we'll want to add our nice DSP. and you don't want it going on tight either. So make sure you keep your, oops, your chocolates facing, so that's this bit's facing down the ways, and nobody's going to know any different. So get that fitting in nicely. Get your piece of DSP, which is 4.5 inches by 3 inches, and you want your hearts running so that it's, you know, they're looking at the hearts from the handle. If it has a decorative side, you could go blue if you wanted to do. So start in the center of that. Get it sort of leeway there between. Just press it. So you're giving it a wee crease. And we're going to tip it over. And you want to make sure at this stage before you add any glue that these are lining up nicely. Not if there's a gap there at all, your paper may have been cut crooked, so check that if you have to. Let me find mine nicely, and I'm going to slide it in here just to make sure. It's just a wee shimmer came off it there. But that could make all the difference, you know, which way are we now facing. This is the top. This is the way the hearts are facing. I'm going to add a bit of tape to one side of it. Make sure that it's in the center where you want it, and it's also lining up. I'm not going to press that yet till I'm certain sure I'm happy. That seems okay. So just crease it nice and gently with your finger and work your way around. And then we're going to stick our last bit. You can do it with the tape or glue. I'm going to give it glue just because I want it to stay in place. And you can stick in there if you want to as well for extra insurance. And then just slide it over and make sure it's lining up. And it should take nicely for you. Squeeze your box back into position, and then we just want to decorate it. And to decorate it, just use some scraps. So long as your heart comes as a double there, and that's the way it works in the punch. So try and line it up so that it just slides into your punch. I'm hoping I have enough grip on this from my hand. If not, we'll just stamp it again. But I always keep all my off-cut scraps from when I'm practicing making a box, just so that I can use them up at a later date, and like they are handy for your sentiments and whatever. Slide that into your punch, and you can see those two line up perfectly. My fingers are not going to line up so perfectly at all. You really need a wee gripper on it, but we'll hope for the best. So you want to get it sort of equal top and bottom, which can be tricky if you're not patient. Is that okay? Oh, for goodness sake. It's going to be okay now. I refuse to give it any more attention. So we've got two nice hearts. You can throw these in the bin. They really are scraps. And then you want to stamp your sentiment. Again, just get a wee, you just need a wee edge for this one. So stamp it here. Just leave yourself room to be able to cut around it. So just get your scissors and just follow that round. Give it a nice little rounded trim. add a wee bit of dimensional to raise that up, just in the center of it there. And we're going to stick it to the larger heart, and you can use one of the lines to keep you nice and straight if need be. And then we just have to add some dimensionals to those. Just need a wee bit of a dimensional for this other one, so use the end bits. And then we're going to stick it in place. So this one at the top. And this one just below. And that is us finally finished. The hard part is just making that wrap and getting it right. You don't want to go to all that bother and then the flipping thing doesn't slide in and out. And it's important that you get that nice, you know, smooth slide, and not doing that wee bit extra cutting helps, or scoring helps. So that is us finished. Hopefully that will entice you to have a wee go and make some for the grandkids, and use up some scrap papers while you're at it. So all the measurements will be down below, and I'll catch us all again next week, hopefully. Thank you. Bye.